I must save the souls of those misguided Mormon women. It's a mockery of the Lord's will that Heber Clausen should claim 2 wives.
I know how you feel, preacher. It's dark in a couple of hours. 2 women, 1 pregnant. They won't get very far.
Yeah. Suppose they followed us?
I don't know. How do you know anything when something like this starts? Just how do you measure hatred and prejudice?
It all happened so fast. Just a few days ago, we were all sitting in church. You, Susanna, Elizabeth, Ann, and me.
You saw it born there, Joe. That's the way it always is. The least expected time and the least expected place. Well, we'd better get moving if we're going to catch up with Susanna and Elizabeth Ann.
Right.
Susanna, if we could stop soon.
All right, we'll stop in those rocks right up ahead.
Do for me this way, Susanna.
Our husband has lost his ranch, the horses that he loves. And he's had his faith in his fellow man put to still another test. Elizabeth Ann, this child, our child, we mustn't let it be taken from him, regardless of the cost.
No.
Well, it's been a real pleasure doing business with you, Mr. Cartwright.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Baker, and thank you for your hospitality. Next time you're up around our way, you make sure you stay at the Ponderosa with us.
Now, you can really count on that. I've got to congratulate you on choosing Heber Clausen for your cutting horses. That man really has a way with horses, even if he is a Mormon. Well, come on, boys. Better head back to the ranch now. Goodbye, sir.
I was
Bye,
Baker.
Hart.
Adios, Mr. Baker.
Well, done pretty good here. Hope little Joe's done as well. I'm sure he has.
Oh, you reckon two of us can move on them horses?
Well, son, we're just about to find out. Look there.
Susanna?
Go to Elizabeth Ann Heber. She needs you. She needs your strength and reassurance. I was so worried.
Well, maybe now that Carbo and the preacher got their fill of violence, maybe they'll leave us alone.
I wish that were true, but it's not, and you know it. So does Heber.
Well, things could change. Besides, we'll be joining up with Pa and Hoss pretty soon.
What on earth are you doing?
Finishing the clothes for our child.
Oh.
We have so much to be thankful for. You and Susanna and I. We have our love. And as long as we keep that, nothing can happen to us.
We'll always have that.
So we have nothing to worry about, do we? Won't you smile for me, Heber? Hadn't you better go give Susanna a hand?
Guess I had. Sure don't need any help here.
And Heber, don't you go sending us off by ourselves again.
I'll be with you forever.
And a day.
You know what that girl is doing. Does she have any idea what's going on?
Of course she knows what's going on. She's knitting, isn't she? That's what women usually do when they have babies.
I swear, if you aren't two of the doggonest women I have ever met in my life. Susanna, got a confession to make. Up to 5 minutes ago, I was ready to give up.
You were?
Now, Even this country is beginning to look good to me.
Looks pretty quiet. You know, I still can't believe it. I talked to those people in Beehive. They seem decent enough.
Oh, they are, Joe. For the most part. But prejudice has never respected decency. I've seen it so many times. But I kept telling myself it couldn't happen to me.
You just wonder what happens to people. Well, anyway, we're gonna make it all right. Some fine doctors in Virginia City.
No, Joe. I'm going back to Salt Lake. I want to be with my people where I belong. I defied my church once when I stayed in Beehive while the others were called back, and they forgave me. Now's my chance to prove myself worthy of that forgiveness. I'll start all over. Build a new house like Susanna and I did when we were first married. Most important, I'll raise my child in my own faith. I've got no fear of the future, Joe. I do regret that I've had to put Susanna and Elizabeth Ann through all this.
What you going down there to?
Thank you, Joe.
Going up on a hill and take a look.
to Elizabeth Ann. We're gonna kill her. Heber! Let me go to Carbone and try and reason with him.
You can't argue with the devil, Susanna.
Heber! Don't let Susanna try to bargain with Grant Carbo. That man is evil, and you know how he feels about her.
I know. Don't worry.
Now we just have to wait them out.
We could just get the men over to one side. I don't want anything to happen to those women.
Nothing's gonna happen to Susanna. I'll promise you that.
Mm-hmm. I was really thinking more of the other one. One who's gonna have the baby. She's the second wife, and that's where the sin is.
Preacher? That's a moral problem, I reckon. And that puts it in your camp, not mine.
How much further to where we're supposed to meet Pa?
If we can get moving again, it's only about 4 or 5 miles.
You take the wagon and get going.
Makes you think I'd do that?
When Pa and brother get there, tell them I could use some help.
Joe, I'm not listening to you.
Look, I'm not gonna argue with you about this. Those 2 women need you, and so does your child.
Try and give us just 5 minutes, and then you come on. We have to get moving. It's only a little ways. There's no other choice.
Come on, Elizabeth Ann. You lie down in the back. You'll feel better.
Boss! Heber in a wagon. They're making a run for it. We gotta stop them. We gotta stop them.
Send 2 men and cut him off. We can't let that kid stay at our back. Now listen. There's only one of them up there. Move in on him.
Joe! Get these horses moving!
we just thought we'd drop by.
Who are they? It's Carbo and his men.
Carbo? If you three think you can hold them down, I'd like to get back with the women.
The women? I'll tell you about it later. Go ahead. Dave, you got any idea why we're here?
Yeah, wages.
No, I don't like it. That Mormon's never done nothing to me.
All four of them are out there together. That means the two women are alone at the wagon.
And I shall go to them. And I shall pray with them. Here in this barren land. I shall drive the sin from their souls.
I've spoken to you before, preacher. I'm gonna speak to you again. You stay put. I'm running things.
We are both soldiers marching in the army of the Lord, my friend. It is your duty to destroy the day, night, and the heathen. It's my duty to save souls.
Now you're gonna stay put if I have to knock your teeth out.
Mr. Carbo, our church.
You wouldn't have no church unless you had my money. It's about time you understood that. Now you behave yourself and do like I say, or that money stops.
Susanna. Susanna.
I'm here, dear.
Shooting has stopped. Is it all over?
I don't know.
Don't leave me, Susanna.
I won't leave you ever, dear.
Susanna?
Oh, thank heaven you're safe. What's happening?
Ben Cartwright, Hossa with little Joe. They'll be able to hold off Carbo and his men for a while, but I just don't know how long. How's Elizabeth Ann?
I think our time's very near. What are we gonna do, Heber? What are we gonna do?
Haven't seen anything move over there in 10 minutes. Reckon we run them off?
No, they're still there, all right. Go have a look.
Tex! Dave! Coming on with me.
What are you gonna do?
I ain't gonna save any souls, preacher. I'm just gonna get me what I come for.
Our mission must not fail.
It won't.
I'm not sure I did the right thing, letting him go that way.
Preacher, you do the right thing when you do what Grant Carbo tells you to do. There just ain't no other way to go in this part of the country.
Less especially, Father, those who have caused such pain in our lives, that their hearts may be open to thy love.
Amen.
My dear husband, Heber. My dear sister, Susanna.
Try to rest now.
You're both so good to me. You mustn't worry about me so.
We love you, Elizabeth Ann. We love you so very much. I don't know much about delivering babies. She should have a doctor.
Yes, I know, I know.
What's to become of us?
God wills.
Are we to run forever because our faith is different from that of others?
No, Susanna, not forever. Someday there'll be a better world. A world without bigotry and hatred, blind prejudice. There has to be. I refuse to believe that men have died in vain from the beginning of time.
I love you, Heber. I love you with all my heart.
You left me no other way. Don't you see that?
I told you I get what I'm after, Susanna. Carlo! Hold it! Well, there's only 3 of them. What are you waiting for? Can't you see there's been murder here?
That's right, Polly. There has been murder here. And you're responsible for it.
I'm not listening to this. You 3 are day-nights, hired killers.
Are they, Mr. Polly? Grant Carbo shot our husband in the back. He never had a chance to defend himself. Ask them, they must have seen it. Are you men enough to stand up and admit it? Or are you still afraid of Carbo even when he's dead?
Don't listen to her. You men know why we're here. We're here on a mission for the Lord. Those 3 day-nights must pay. In the name of the church, they must pay.
What Lord, Mr. Polly? What church? You call yourself a man of God. You don't even know the meaning of the phrase. Look there. Look at our husband. There was a true man of God. And you and your hatred and your prejudice, you've killed him.
Now, you men know why we're here. Those 2 women must be cleansed of their sins. In the name of the church.
Carbo never gave a hoot about you or your church. He was just using you.
I don't want no more trouble, Joe. All Carbo ever wanted was this woman. And everybody knew it. Except you, preacher.
Oh, you're wrong. Mr. Carbo was a devout man. You can't go.
Don't talk to me, preacher. You make me sick at my stomach.
But you can't leave. Our work's not completed. You two women, you must know I meant only good. Why, it was just like the story of Mary Magdalene. Believe me, I never meant any harm.
Why don't you leave them alone with their grief?
I only wanted to save their souls.
Preacher, I think you should concentrate on saving your own soul.
No! Wait! We must all work for salvation! You must stay! Wait! Please, wait!
What do you think, Paul?
Well, I tell you, your time is near. I wouldn't like to move in that wagon. I think it'd be fatal.
I can make the ride to Humboldt Crossing. There'll be a doctor there.
I think you better do that. I'll tell Susanna. At least we can give her that much hope.
She's so still.
Well, rest's the best thing for her right now.
Susanna, why don't you go get you something to eat? Boy, she ain't eaten since yesterday.
I know.
Well, I ain't doing a whole lot of good around here. I think I'll saddle up again and see if I can't round up some of those horses.
I'll take care of her. I promise, Heber, I'll take care of her. And I'll take care of your child.
She had the baby yet?
No. I tell you, if that doctor doesn't get her pretty soon, I'm real worried. He's real rough with her.
This is Doc Bingham, Pa.
Glad to know you, Doctor.
Oh, yeah, we'll visit later. Where's the patient?
Right in there. Who's she, Doctor?
She's gonna die, and there's nothing I can do about it. I don't know how she managed to last this long. Just hanging on for the baby, I guess.
What about the baby? Will it be born all right?
It's questionable at best, but the mother's struggling to give it every chance.
What if she dies before the baby's born?
That will reduce the chances of the infant's survival to almost none. Would you put some more wood on the fire?
Hello, Susanna. Are we home?
No, not home. But we're safe here.
Our baby will be all right.
Of course it will.
Yes. Yes, it will, won't it?
Of course. Now, don't worry. You go to sleep now. The doctor's here.
Look, Paul.
I don't know.
I'm Reverend Blaisdell. This is my wife. As soon as we heard what happened, we came to see if we could be of assistance.
Reverend, Bessie, glad you came. It's a fine baby boy, Mr. Cartwright.
And Elizabeth Ann?
She's conscious now, but she can't last very long.
Perhaps my wife and I should go to her now.
They asked to be alone.
It's beautiful. If only Heber could have known.
He knows, Elizabeth Ann.
Yes. Yes, I believe he does. I love you. Susanna, will you take care of our son? Always.
Of course I will.
Do you remember how, in times of stress, Heber always recited our 13th article of faith?
I remember.
Would you recite it for me? I want to hear it. Just once more.
We believe in being honest, true, chaste, benevolent, virtuous, and in doing good to all men. Indeed, you may say that we follow the admonition of Paul. We believe all things, hope all things. We have endured many things. We hope to be able to endure all things. If there is anything lovely, virtuous, of good report, or praiseworthy, we seek after these things.
Believe all things. We hope all things. Endured.
Poor innocent infant. What's to become of it?
We'll take it, of course.
You'll take it? You'll take this child? You stand there in your great and mighty righteousness and tell me you'll take this child from me?
Susanna, please.
Your bigotry and prejudice have already taken my husband from me. And my sister. And now you stand there and tell me that you'll take this child?
Mrs. Clausen, I only meant...
I know what you meant. That this is not my child, that it was born of another. But don't you understand? This child's father was my husband. We wanted children, my husband and I, more than anything in the world. But when the Lord, in his wisdom, saw fit to deny me that privilege, my husband took Elizabeth Ann to wed, with the blessing of our church and in the sanctity of our church. This child is as much mine as if it were born of my body. It will be raised in its father's faith and in its father's image.
Mrs. Clausen, you did not let me finish. No one will take your child from you.
We're a family, the three of us. We loved each other.
I meant only that we want to take you into our home. We want to help you. We want you to stay with us as long as you wish. Your faith is not ours, but we have deep respect for your church. It is proper that a son should be raised in the faith of its father.
You don't want to take my child?
Oh, no, dear.
Forgive me. Forgive me. For a moment, I lost faith.
We all have moments when we lose our faith, my dear. We would be less than human if this were not so.
Let me help you with your son, Mrs. Clausen. He's a beautiful baby, Mrs. Clausen.
You know, Paul, there's still a lot of good folks in the world, ain't there?
Yeah, there sure are. And someday, hopefully, they'll make the world that people were seeking.
I just hope it comes soon enough so his son can see it.